Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And yes, there's only 30 minutes left in the show. And yes, my voice is hanging on. And yes,
you're going to make it again.
Yes, Ron Wong, Dr. Wong is here, just in case. He does not do mouth-to-mouth, he told me.
No.
So I'm okay on that. But first hour, man, it goes by quickly. Fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming as we roll into our 19th year on the air. And one of my favorite events, man, I could remember, it seems like yesterday, 1989, after I'd taken over from Henry Reynolds at the Commercial Appeal, and he said, son, when you go out there to Ames Plantation for that national championship of bird dogs, you're going to have to ride a horse. Well, I could not get Kroger's. Kroger would not let me have that horse out in front to take out there. But it is the 121st. Is that right?
121st running, yes.
121st running in the National Bird Dog, whatever you want to call it, Field Trial Championship. And we got Rick Carlisle, a good friend from Ames, the superintendent of Ames, but he's also Secretary-Treasurer for the National Field Trial Championship Association. And yes, tonight, 7 o'clock in Bryant Hall, right off, as I said one time, Buford-Ellington Boulevard. No, it's not a boulevard, okay? I made that mistake. A lot of my mistakes were made at Ames Plantation. But 7 o'clock tonight, they're going to draw 37 nominations. Going to draw the braces, is what they call, 2 dogs in each brace. And if weather permitting, they'll be through on February the 20th. And we won't go any further in mentioning about the weather in the rest of this interview with Rick. But
amen, brother.
Rick, I mean, 105 years in Ames. Is that close? Am I close to that?
That you're right on the money. 105 years, yes, sir.
Amazing. And Rick's been out there. He only missed 2 years. No, I mean, he and I together on this. So it is an unbelievable event. Draws thousands from all over the United States. Is their website, which we'll give in just a minute. We'll have all the up-to-date information. Boy, we've come a long way from me going back in the back room and asking Joe Walker what happened to the dogs that day. We are now instant information. But let's talk about it, Rick. 37 dogs, including defending champion Dunn's tried and true, Will and Rita Dunn, is back. And you know Gary Lester's going to have some in there, including a 2-time champion's coming back. Lester's Sonny Hill
Joe will be back,
yeah. And I don't know how in the world Mark McLean's going to handle 5 of them, but he is. Looks like.
Well, see, he's got 5 dogs, and so does Luke Eisenhart.
Well, I can't count. So, Luke's in there, too.
Luke's got 5, and Mark's got 5, and then you've got Randy Anderson that's got 4. And so it's man, this drawing's going to get interesting.
It is going to get interesting. So talk about it, the event itself, and then the complications, and then let's talk a little bit about how you're able to pull this off, because I know you guys start early, back in the fall, get your birds ready and everything like that. So talk about this event, because I know it's so special for you.
Well, the field trial courses encompass about 6,000 acres, and this year we've got a little over 252 feed plots, and that's a mixture of teosinte maize, which is the precursor to corn, that we put out in those feed plots, as well as grain sorghum and some Millex, which is it's a millet, a tall-growing millet that will it gets about 12 feet tall, but it breaks off or it breaks over at about 3 feet to 4 feet high, and it makes great overhead cover for the birds to protect them from the avian raptors. But we put out 6,200 birds, which winds up being about a little over 150, I think it's 155 coveys that we put out, 20 birds per covey on both field trial courses. Each course is 11.5 linear miles in length.
Yeah.
That's what the horses will go. That's what the judges ride, the handler rides, the gallery rides.
The dogs don't. The dogs go more than that.
Yeah, that dog, he's going to actually cover somewhere between 22 to 25 miles in that 3-hour time period.
Styles, stamina, and the ability to locate coveys of quail. The Ames standard. And these dogs are athletes, as Rick has taught me.
And they've got to be. This is the only 3-hour stake left, and it is an endurance stake. And the judges are looking for a dog that ends that 3 hours with the same energy and enthusiasm he started that 3 hours with.
And those judges this year will be J.D. Rayfield of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, Tom Schenker of Hurtsboro, Alabama, and Dr. Stan Went of Gardner, Kansas. And if I'm not mistaken, 70 qualifying field trials to get there. There's criteria to come, and I'm looking at this, and man, Ron Wong has already picked. He always picks a whippoorwill, so Dr. Huffman ought to really be happy with Ron Wong. He always picks a whippoorwill, and he likes whippoorwill mayhem. I think he just likes the Allstate commercial.
I love the name.
The Allstate commercial there. So tell Larry Huffman that Ron Wong is probably the only guy that's going to that Ron has picked whippoorwill mayhem. And, I don't know how old Lester Sunny Hill Joe is. And you know how much I have a great relationship with Gary Lester. Now, of course, I do with Steve Hurdle, and a lot of these other guys have been out there a long time. Sunny Hill won it 2017, 2018. Dunn's tried and true. I love the Dunn family. Won it last year. Is it a wide-open race again?
It is. It is. There are several good dogs that are hot right now. Now, one is Randy Anderson has a dog named Valiant.
Yes, yeah,
and that dog has had he's had 6 first-place placements in the last 4 months.
I'm glad I let Ron pick before me. Okay, all right. Okay, what else? We got anybody else?
You've got you've got one that's in there this time that is Keith Wright. Has a dog called Touch's Gray Streak.
I'm looking at it right here. Yeah.
All right. Now that dog is dog's a young dog, and if you'll remember, Keith owned the dog that won several years ago that Ike Todd ran the very first time he won the national championship.
Yeah. So
Touch's Whiteout. So he's
there's quite a few touches in there.
Absolutely.
When you get that,
every one of them is good.
Some
is just better than others.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I look at this, and we know, Rick, we don't want to mention weather, but, the draw is pretty important, too.
Absolutely, yes. You've got to have a good day. Hopefully the birds are moving and everything fall together for that dog to put it all together and come up with a win.
And it doesn't necessarily mean the first brace will produce a winner. It could, but I've been there before when the very end just about.
Absolutely. We've had a dog in the first brace, and we've had a dog in the last brace to win.
I'd rather have the last brace because I sure have to wait 3 weeks to know if I won or not.
How often does that happen, though, Rick, where the best dog
we don't know.
Wins in the very near the beginning?
Well, yeah. Rick,
I mean, you don't know that, but say on the second day.
It could happen. Yeah, it could happen. And they said,
how often does that happen?
Tell him, Rick.
Well, we've had them place. We've had a dog run the first or second day that's won it. Ron, just like last year. Now, last year, the dog Dunn's Tried and True ran. I think he ran on the second Monday.
He did.
Right.
That's right. So
so he won it then, and then you go back to 1986, and Bluff City Mike won it last brace of the trial.
Yeah, Henry Riddles was moaning about that all the time. I can remember that. So Henry in his trailer and his camera out there saying, "Hey, they got to wait till the end to win this thing." But again, we're talking to Rick Carlisle, who is not only the superintendent at Ames Plantation. If you have not been to Ames Plantation, shame on you. It's a wonderful place to visit, right out of Grand Junction. Not too far off the state Highway 18 and Highway 57. And then this event is great for spectators. They allow you to drive along the road. You can be there where they pass through those 11 and a half, whatever it is, miles. You can be there when they start and watch the dogs. It's just amazing. You can go by horseback. This is the only event that I know of that is covered by horseback. And,
are you going to ride this year?
Rick knows that. No. Okay, that's a quick.
I already knew the answer.
Well,
I had to ask.
If you saw Henry Reynolds walk, it was because he rode all them horses at Ames Plantation. Bless his heart. You know, I've got a, you know, well, anyway. But so it all kicks off, Rick, and I know it's a great event, and you'll have these dogs from all over, right? I mean,
yes.
As far away as the West Coast, Idaho, I'm sure, some people out there and everything. So if you look at these, and I know I'm looking through here, I see one, let's see, two. How many setters we got?
Oh, gosh.
I got three here.
Look to see.
Four.
I know we've got one setter. Stardust Chaz is one setter.
I got that one.
And
okay.
We've got the other dog. Let's see. The other setter is going to be Hidden
Shamrock.
Hidden Shamrock.
Yep.
Sean Derrick. Now, that's a good dog, too.
That's a really good dog. Yeah, I've looked up something on that, so I know that dog is in there. So that's two. So I know we got those two, but the pot.
What's interesting, Larry, is that we've got out of those 37 dogs, 36 of them are males. We only got one female.
Well, I just now noticed that too. Yeah. Well,
and that's Steve Hurdle's dog, the Coldwater Thunder dog. That,
yes.
Rachel and
Rachel Blackwell.
Doug Arthur on.
Yeah. That's the only female.
That's a local dog, man.
It is a local dog. Was this no females this year? Was that the early stipulation that y'all put there? Well, we don't have to worry about somebody. Well, we won't get into that. But anyway,
there you go. Be careful.
So everything starts tonight at 7. Tell them how they can get the information about it and where to go to keep up with it.
We have our website. It's www.amesplantation.org. And when you click on that, it'll come up on the home page, and you can see the nominations that we have, who the judges are, the Amiesian standard, which is what we use to measure the dogs with, and then we'll have the brace-by-brace synopsis. After each running, they'll put what happened in those braces on the website.
Weather, everything, you can get all of that on the website, and here it goes. Ron has picked, where's that over here, Ron?
Whippoorwill
Mayhem. You know, I could really go and just say Valiant because, I mean, he's told me how hot this dog is. But as soon as I pick it, it won't win. You know,
pick it, Larry.
No, I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to pick it. You know what? I'm going to pick the only female because I really like Steve Hurdle. I would like to see that female just show off in front of all those males.
Okay.
You know, I mean, when you're down 36-1. Yeah. So it
just come back, and knock it out of the park.
That's
just
it.
Win it all.
That's what I like females. Okay. All right. So hey, Rick, thank you, buddy. I'll try to. I won't probably make it Monday, but I'll be out there, and I'll for sure be unless something comes up, be there for the finals. Even though the commercial appeal doesn't cover it, I'll be there. Okay. So you tell
we
everybody.
Look forward to seeing you. I hope you get feeling better.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Have a great one. We'll talk to you. Have a great week. I know you're not a judge, but I know you're crying, but that's okay. All right. So
I understand.
All right.
We appreciate it, Larry. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Rick Carlisle. All right. Let's take a break. Come back and a little waterfowl here. I mean, and because this is a show that has no host. The Grind Waterfowl TV and our good friends at Kent Cartridge are the sponsors of that. Who ever heard of a show without a host? But we'll talk about that as we close out today.
There are a lot of guests.
There are a lot of guests. All right. We'll be right back.